You do everything right. You diversify holdings, secure the penthouse, and hit your numbers. But as the net worth keeps climbing, the pressure intensifies. Achieving financial freedom often creates a strange side effect, a heightened, constant fear of losing it. Instead of feeling liberated by the luxury, you feel suffocated by the need to maintain it. This is the weight of status anxiety. When an internal identity is fused to a fluctuating external asset, every dip in a portfolio feels like a direct threat to who you are. This exhaustion has followed us for centuries. In the ancient world, a parable captured when a man's identity became a prisoner of his property. To understand why that cage of wealth feels so small, we have to look at the confrontation between two neighbors and the land they occupied. This is the story of the two gardens. Kadaan owns a masterpiece of agriculture. His vineyard is hyper-fertile and heavy with fruit, protected by armed guards and framed by a river that ensures his soil never goes thirsty. He operates with a strict mindset of absolute ownership. He looks at his rows of grapes and sees his own power. To Kadaan, this wealth is a permanent achievement, something he generated and something he alone controls. But this belief requires constant vigilance. Because he views himself as the sole source of his status, he carries the psychological burden of defending it against time, weather, and rivals. Across the river, Ryan lives differently. His home is a simple, sun-bleached cottage. He has no guards and no sprawling empire, only a single olive tree and the open sky. Ryan views his small plot as a stewardship. He believes his resources are a temporary loan rather than a permanent possession. This perspective shifts the responsibility of absolute control away from his own shoulders. With less property to defend and no ego tied to the soil, Ryan is free from the anxiety of loss. His lightness comes from the humility of knowing what he can and cannot actually keep. When Kadaan visits Ryan, he brings his arrogance like him. He stands tall at the property line, his jewelry glinting as he casts a literal shadow over Ryan's modest home. Kadaan gestures to his estate and claims it will never perish. He believes his material success makes him immune to the hour of judgment or any change in fortune. He has mistaken his current balance for a permanent law of nature. Ryan listens and points to the earth. He reminds Kadaan that they both came from dust. He suggests that wealth is merely on loan and that true power belongs to the one who provided the garden, not the one who walks through it. The response from nature is immediate. A terrifying storm sweeps the valley at midnight. Lightning tears through the vines, and the river overflows, washing the fertile topsoil into the dark. In a single night, the illusion of absolute ownership is stripped away. The guards and the gold are useless against a force that Kadaan cannot bribe or control. When a person's entire identity is tethered to what they have, the destruction of the asset results in the total destruction of the self. The morning light is cold. The once lush estate is unrecognizable, a wasteland of gray mud and blackened, tangled wood. Kadaan stands alone in the ruin. His status symbols completely erased, he falls to his knees, finally realizing how fragile his empire actually was. His epiphany is a painful one. A steward understands that since nothing is truly owned, there is no reason to gloat over a neighbor's loss, only a reason to offer a hand. This story suggests a way out of modern financial anxiety. By accepting the role of a steward rather than an owner, we stop trying to control the uncontrollable. We do the work, but we stop carrying the crushing burden of the outcome. Wealth is a beautiful shadow, but shadows inevitably vanish when the sun sets. Lasting peace is not found in the shadow, but in what you build inside the heart.